I'm going to call item 7.6, which was an addendum, consideration of a resolution authorizing a short-term loan in the amount of $390,000 to the Community Development Department, Building Division. And we have our Community Development Director, Maria Turner, and Assistant Director, Shannon Walker-Smith. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. The item you have before you is an addendum. Thanks, Johanna, for getting that added to the agenda. It's a draft resolution requesting a short-term loan. The Building Division has realized a significant drop in building permits. Not just the type, but also, or not just the number, but also the type of permits. We're still really busy with smaller permits, not so much the larger ones. The table distributed to you earlier shows the drop in 2024. We are starting to recover in 2025. So we have been not filling positions if we didn't absolutely need them. We've distributed job tasks as positions have become vacant rather than fill them. We are requesting this temporary loan because the increase in wages has made it necessary to address this prior to mid-year budget. We do anticipate a return to historic norms of permitting in the future, and are confident that we will be able to repay this loan within the fiscal year. Additionally, we do have code officers and inspectors that are out there actively tagging unpermitted construction, and we are working with our citations and violations and things like that. But anyway, we are working where we can to make sure that our development is done with permits and done safely, and are asking for this bridge loan to take us through the next 3 months. I also, excuse me, golly, it's the second week. I have Deputy Administrator Shannon Walker-Smith here to sort of walk us through the repayment process. Oh, also, and Casey from Admin Office. We've been working closely with the Administrative Office to resolve this issue.
I do have an additional handout I can provide. I know Supervisor Sabatier had some questions about the numbers that were provided in the memo. So I've developed an additional spreadsheet to look at if that would be helpful. But the bottom line is that salaries are up from last year, from when we proposed our budget, that our salaries overall have not exceeded what we expected at this point, but salaries and expenses combined, and then the loss of revenue has left us, we're just barely in the black as we speak. So we're looking for this loan to ensure that we can cover salaries over the next 3 months, but permit revenue will continue to come in. In past years, we've seen basically 1/3 of our revenue in the first half of the year and 2/3 in the second half, and that's kind of a trend. So we expect that we will be able to recover significantly. We do recognize that we're looking at probably a revenue shortfall for this fiscal year overall, and we anticipated that with the salary increases that we would have to make a significant adjustment at mid-year, which we have in progress and are currently working on that mid-year budget adjustment. I can hand this out or not, or answer questions, whatever you prefer.
What we have here.
I have an updated one from that one that is a little bit more, has a little more detail.
Could we have that, please?
Actually, let me keep one. I always do that. Hand
Was
them
there
all out.
anything further on the presentation?
That's all in the presentation.
Thank you.
Then at this point, bring it to the board for any questions or comments. I do want to be clear that for this resolution to pass is going to require a unanimous vote of the supervisors here today. Just so that's out there as a reminder.
He's got it by now.
Yeah, oh, sorry, I didn't see that. I apologize.
Can you please explain what other expenses mean? Does that mean the benefit package that comes along with the, because salary I know just is what people got paid. It's not their PERS, it's not their health care. I know that from looking up the numbers myself.
The salaries line is all inclusive of those things, and other expenses are things, everything from like the our share of public liability that we owe back to admin, our open gov expenses, so just general division expenses that have occurred so far this fiscal year. We are pretty much on a spending freeze now, except anything that is dire, as we work towards our mid-year adjustment.
So those are operating costs?
Operating costs, correct?
So I am going to push back a little bit.
Sure.
The salary increases only added up to $54,000 for the entire year. In addition, we've only had 3 or 4 months, so I don't see that as that fluff should have easily been part of the budget, should have been part of the budget. I also have grave concerns on your plan to pay back. Your plan to pay back is based on services that have yet to be provided, but I thought I approved rates on services that were provided where we're not allowed to make money off those rates, which means how are you going to pay back services already rendered with new services that should only pay for the services that are rendered? I'm struggling to understand how that works, because it shouldn't work like that. And if we're planning to do that, I think we need to review that with our county council, if that's an appropriate way to do that. Yes, there's always a little bit of fluff involved in our fees to ensure that it pays for the time that staff spends. But to pay back almost $400,000 off the backs of other services doesn't sit well with me. So I'm looking for, do we have any other options on how to ensure that we're going to get paid back? Because I'm not certain that that will happen, and hoping that maybe our CAO office has other opportunities and thoughts on what can be done. Obviously, from what I understand, you have less than $20,000 left currently. You have a payroll to pay in about 2 weeks. So the answer is not no, but the answer is not what I'm seeing in the memo, because I'm really concerned that that is not the answer that will solve the problem of the loan. And so I would like to have a better plan to ensure that we can make you solvent and also make sure that it gets paid back.
Supervisor Pyska?
I share these concerns as well. And I mean, obviously we have to do this, but I don't see how we're going to get paid back either. I did have a conversation with admin about what extra oversight we're going to have to require to get through this, because it's needed, unfortunately. And so, Stephen, can you share some of or Casey, kind of what this oversight's going to look like?
Hi, Casey Murno, Deputy County Administrative Officer. So if it is approved today, then we would like to propose admin having full signature authority over the Community Development Department, which would not just be for building, but for all of their budgets, to ensure that everything is moving the way it should be, as well as transfers are happening between them until the money is paid back or we've reached an agreement to let it be. Also, we want to have monthly or bi-monthly budget meetings with them in order to get them back on track. And currently there is no overtime that has been spent in the budget, but we want to ensure that no overtime is spent.
Is there anything else, Stephen? I think, was it a colored paper?
Should have been.
Bright red would have been easy.
I know you showed me something, and I cannot remember what was on it. there was something else. I mean, I don't, maybe if we can't figure this out, I think it's okay. But I think we probably all agree that there needs to be some pretty rigid oversight going forward now.
I fully agree, and I don't know if that means coming back December 9th and letting us know what the plan is. But that I feel the need for a more robust plan than what's in front of us.
You guys covered what a lot of my concerns were, but just for the record, the resolution has it being paid back at the end of the fiscal year, which I don't think is realistically something that we should have there. I think that needs to be considered too, because I don't know if we're going to get it paid back by June 30th. And that's what's in the resolution.
And also, I'm worried about the legalities of it, of the collection, as Supervisor Sabate had pointed out at the beginning.
If I could add a little clarification for that. Historically, when the permits have been at higher levels, we don't just charge fees until we've made our expenses for the year. So historically, when we do have more permit fees than we have expenses, we've been able to feed funding into reserves. So I'm not concerned as much. I'm not really understanding the legality issue. I don't think it'll be illegal if once our permit activity goes back to its norm, that we will be able to cover our expenses as well as pay back the loan.
Well, the reserves are obviously, there aren't any, correct? We've used them.
78,000.
Right,
78,000?
right. And that is because the reserves were at an excessive level. And so we had been sort of moving them down. We just weren't counting on this collection of criteria that have led us to this point.
Go ahead, Supervisor Sabatier.
I want to have a deeper conversation. Today's already been very long. I am not willing to let people go right now on December 1st. That is not an option. You have to pay the folks that have been working here, and we need to have a robust plan. The resolution does say till the end of the fiscal year, and I will not be going further than the fiscal year. We have to figure out a way to make sure that the department is solvent. Whether or not there's ebbs and flows through, we got to figure out how to make that work. I feel this is, I want the December 9th conversation.
Yep.
I think there's some reserves that can be used to help. There's some potential, there's $78,000 right now. It's gone.
So their
That was
cash
as of
position-
July 1st. I apologize.
So as of July 1st, they had reserves of 78,000, but with their cash position of,
Don't
Where
we
it's
have to
at.
approve reserves coming out of reserves?
it's allowed to be used as cash flow until the end, June 30th, to where you need to have at least that much in cash in your account to be at zero. So with their account, it's at 28,000 now, not 18. But
Gotcha.
with their cash being 28,000, they're technically negative 40 grand because of not having enough cash to fund said reserves. So no.
And I think in the long run, I think it's a learning moment, not for the department, but for us. There has to be some flags that if we meet a certain criteria of going down towards being in the negatives, that we have to take certain actions before this. So I hope that we can create a learning moment from this and have a deeper conversation.
Okay, still need public comment. Is there anything further before
Yeah,
we bring it back?
I found
Yes,
I
go
found my
ahead.
list.
Oh.
It was,
Go ahead.
It was the hiring freeze and no major equipment and training and travel are halted until, which is all pretty standard, honestly.
Okay. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and open it to the public. We have Mr. Tom Lasik. You'll have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. I really enjoy the discussion about this. I understand the dilemma that Director Turner's in, but I'm a little bit confused, and I think that's starting to manifest itself in the conversation here. At the beginning, there was, I have high confidence that I'm going to be able to pay this back. I don't know what the basis of that confidence is, and it becomes apparent that we're not even clear how it's going to get paid back, if at all. I do think that the oversight that was recommended is standard practice. I think that needs to happen. But I think there are just too many unanswered questions to say, yeah, I can pay it back. But when you ask, how are you going to pay it back? If you can't answer that, then that should at least be a pause to come back and, gather the information so that you can make an informed decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the room? And we have Margot Kambara. You'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair, Board. I appreciate your fiscal responsibility and asking for more details, asking for more questions, and asking for a solid plan for repayment and how to get the department on solid footing. I would also request that the updated spreadsheet that was made available to your board also be shared with the public. So however makes the most sense, perhaps posting that on Granicus with today's agenda item materials, that would be one easy way for the public to find it. Thank you.
I think we can do that. Thank you for the comment. Johanna, do we have anyone online? No hands. So I'll bring it back to the board. I think to summarize what I was hearing, it sounds like, because obviously we have to do something. We've got to make payroll. So I'm hearing maybe we're going to offer the resolution and direct staff to bring back a detailed plan on how we're going to address this
On December 9th.
on December 9th.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
and I'll offer the resolution.
Resolution's been offered.
I'll second that.
Supervisor
Oops.
Owen,
Yes.
Supervisor Sabatier,
Aye.
Supervisor Pyska,
Yes.
and Supervisor Rasmussen.
Aye.
Thank you.
That concludes that item. Thank you.